Have you ever watched an incredibly emotional movie, only then to open your phone and see that your token's price has skyrocketed 20 minutes ago, and now you have missed your chance to retire before 30 years old? I haven't, but if that's you, I've got the perfect solution. In this video, I'll show you how to build a super simple Discord bot that will send you an alert whenever a token's price changes over a specified threshold, so that you'll never miss a price movement again and retire before 30. Let's get to it. The project is very easy to implement with only 3 components. The first is the Discord bot, the second is the chain and wallet data so that we can know how much the price of the token has changed, and lastly the database so that we can store the user's wallet address and specified threshold. Now I'll show you how to set up your database first. For the database of choice, I use PostgreSQL hosted on Supabase, and it is free and very easy to use. You'll need to click some buttons. No CLI needed. However, if you want, you can always use another option such as MySQL, MongoDB, whatever you want, locally or hosted. Personally, I like Supabase and it is very easy to use. If you haven't created an account, you can create using GitHub or your email. Afterwards, you can go to your dashboard, choose your organization and create a new project. Name it whatever you want. And create a very strong password. That's how easy it is to create a new database. Now we'll need the credentials to connect to the database. You can click on connect. Since we're using Python with SQL Alchemy, you can choose the SQL Alchemy type. From here, you can either choose direct connection or session pooler, depending on whether you are using an IPv4 or an IPv6 network. I'm using an IPv4, so I will use the session pooler. Copy all the credentials and put it into your .env file. I have created an example .env file in the GitHub repo, so you can just insert the credentials into the correct variables. After you've done that, let me show you how to create a database connection with Python and SQL Alchemy. I'm using UV as the project and package manager, and it is very lightweight and easy to use. You can use pip or conda or whatever you want. We'll need SQL Alchemy, the driver for PostgreSQL, which is psychopg2, and lastly python.env to interact with the .env file you just created. SQL Alchemy psychopg2 binary, then python.env. Now we can create the database file. First, let's do some importing. Next, we'll create the ORM classes for our tables. We'll need 2 tables, one to store the user's wallet address and the other to store the user's threshold. Next, we can start creating a database connection class. Next, we can create the actual database connection with the URL. Next, we'll need the CRUD operations for the 2 tables. For this project, we'll only need the upsert and the select by ID. Lastly, we'll need to join the tables to select everything, the ID, the wallet address, and the threshold, so that we can use that for the auto occurring alerts. Now we can go test the database connection out to see if it actually works. When you run this, if everything works as expected, then the 2 tables will be created. You can check this for yourself on Supabase. Head to the database tab and you should see that your 2 tables are created. The next major component that we need is the chain and wallet data. For this project, I'll use Birdeye data services, and it is again free, we're broke, and they offer a lot of data for us. If you haven't, you can create a new account using your email or Google or whatever, and head to your dashboard. If you're creating a new account, you'll need to verify your account first. Then head to security, click on generate key, and you'll be able to generate a new API key. That's it. Now you have the API key for on-chain data. Now go and put that into your .env file too. For this to work, we will need some additional dependencies, which will be requests. To make the requests, duh. and also Pedantic to model the data. For me, Pedantic allows me to manage the data and understand it more clearly. If you don't want, you can use the data as a JSON object, but I recommend using Pedantic. I've included the data model for every endpoint that we will use, and since it is very lengthy, you can check it out yourself if you want to know in details. I've included the links to their documentations. It is very detailed, you can check them out. The main endpoint that we will use to know how much the token price has changed will be the token overview. For token overview, we will have token price change for different time frames from 1 minute, 5 minutes to 24 hours. Additionally, you will have a lot of useful data such as liquidity, market cap, total supply. However, be aware that token overview is only available for starter tiers above. If you are using free tier, you won't be able to access this endpoint. Instead, you can use the price endpoint, which also includes the price change 24 hours as a raw value. I will use token overview just because I have it. Next, we will need to create the data managers to make all of the requests. First, let's do some importing. Next, we'll create the actual data manager class as well as a custom error so that we can make error handling more easily. For Birdeye data services, all of their endpoints require very specific headers, which require your API key as well as the chain that you would like to get data from. Next, we'll create a reusable method that handles some basic errors for all endpoints. We'll need to create the endpoints. If the request fails, then we raise the error that we created before. Else, then we return the actual data we get from the endpoints. With that out of the way, we can actually write the requests for all of our endpoints, which is token overview. And the second most important will be the wallet portfolio, so that we can get all the tokens that the user have in their wallets. Next will be some additional info so that the user have a better understanding of their tokens. We'll use token security so that we can get all the security info of the token. Pretty self-explanatory. Next will be the creation info so that the users know if it is a very recent token or a very long-standing one. Lastly, we'll get the top 10 holders of the token so the users can know that if there are many whales holding the tokens or not. And that's all we need for the chain and wallet data. Finally, onto the main course, I'll show you how to create the Discord bot and connect it to your Python script so that it handles everything that we need for the alert. First, head to the Discord developer portal. Head to getting started. This is basically a very comprehensive tutorial on how to create and set up your Discord bot. I'll briefly show you all the most basic steps needed for this project. Head to step 1 and choose create app. Name it whatever you want. Next, head to the bot tab and choose reset token. This token is basically the password to your bot, so keep it secure in your .env file. Do not share it with anyone. After you've done that and put that into your .env file, you can scroll down and toggle message intent. This will allow your bot to actually send messages through channels or DMs. In bot permissions, you can also choose send messages. Finally, you need to create an URL so that other people or you can invite the bot into your channels. In OAuth 2, in the URL generator, choose the option bot so that it becomes a bot. For bot permissions, also choose send messages and copy the link. Follow it. Then you should be able to add the bot into any of your servers. Now you have your first Discord bot. I'll show you how to create the alerts with Python. For the Discord bot to work, we'll need the Python Discord SDK, which is Discord Py. We also need a logger that works with Discord Py. These are some very basic configs from the loggers. Now we can complete the bot. First, let's do some importing. We'll need to handle some edge cases for the native tokens such as SOL and ETH for Ethereum. The tokens themselves do not have any data, so we'll need to use the wrapped version of them. So let's create a dictionary so we can map whenever we meet SOL or ETH. Next, let's create the client that we will use to send messages to users. The client will have a tree of commands, the database manager, and also the data service manager also. Now we can instantiate the client. We have the onReady event so that we know the bot is running correctly, and also the run bot so we can actually run the bot. Next, we'll add some helper functions to help format the message that we want to send to the users so that it looks like what I showed you before. First, we'll create the check user alert function to check all of the tokens in the user wallet. First, we get all of the user's token in the wallet using the wallet portfolio endpoint. Next, we'll iterate over every token in the user's wallet. Now is the time when we check for the edge cases if the token is SOL or ETH. Next, we can get the token overview. The first thing that we need to check if the price change percentage go over the user's specified threshold. By default, I'm using the 5-minute price change to compare with the user's threshold. You can use whatever you want, 6 hours, 24 hours, or even set it dynamically so that users can enter it themselves. If no price change is available, we can continue and skip this token. Otherwise, if the price change is larger than the threshold, we start getting all the info that we need to create the token card. First will be the token creation info. If nothing is available, then we'll leave it blank. Next will be the token security. No mint means that no more tokens can be minted, and blacklist means that if the token is blacklisted or not. If it's blacklisted, then you should stay away from it. Next will be the list of top 10 token holders. Now that we have all the information we need, we can build the token card using the helper function that we written before and append it to the list of all tokens meeting the threshold. Now we have the token card for one users. We'll need to iterate over all users and create the token card for each of them. To make this an automatically recurring function, we'll need the task loop decorator from Discord and create the function. First, we'll get all the users and the threshold from our database. With the Discord ID, wallet address, and threshold, we can build the token card, which contains all of the tokens that met the user's threshold. If any tokens are found meeting the threshold, we will get the user's ID and send the message through the user's DM. We will send a message for every token that is found. Next, we'll need to set up the task so that it only runs after the bot has started. Now we can create the setup command so that the users can insert the wallet address and specify threshold. For Discord to recognize a function as a command, we'll need the 3.command decorator. Once the users enter the wallet address and threshold, we can upsert that into the database and send a success message to the users. Finally, for testing purposes, we'll create a manual alert command that will send an alert immediately rather than waiting for the full 5 minutes. The logic is basically the same as the check users alert automatically. Now that everything is done, we can actually run the bot and test it. Now let's try running the Discord bot. You can see that the bot found 0 users, which is because we haven't inserted or set up any users yet. Now let's do that. Use the setup command. Enter your wallet address and your desired threshold. I'll set it to 0.1 so that we can see the results immediately. Yep, we upserted the wallet we want. Now we can send the alert. You can see that we found 2 tokens that met our threshold with all the info that we need, such as market cap, liquidity, and price. You can set the alert interval to whatever you want, or even set it dynamically based on the user's specified time frame if you have it included in the setup and database. So that's basically it. Now you'll never miss any price change or any good price movement, and be prepared to retire before 30 years old. Good luck! I'll leave the link to the code in the description so that you can check it out and try it for yourself. Have fun retiring. See ya!